Welcome to this week's Hymn of the Week. This week we have Glory to God 319, Shout to the North, a song by Martin Smith from the UK, who was at that time in 1995 a member of the band Cutting Edge, which then became Delirious. And this song became, I would say, pretty big in the churches in the UK, and it was part of this New Paradigm Church movement, which was more culturally relevant. And how they said that this was more culturally relevant was in different ways. They met in different spaces, like, for example, auditoriums. The songs were longer. It was like a song set that could have gone for a long time, and a long preaching component to the service, maybe 45 minutes or longer. And taking also some of the other components of the service and removing them. So that was just a very nutshell background of the New Paradigm churches then. And what was happening was the incorporation, as termed then, contemporary worship and the music of modern worship leaders. That was the wording that was done, created that. And this was being developed, and then it was taken to the United States after that. And this whole, we'll call it, approach was then tried very successfully, quite successful many times in the United States after that. So how does this song really relate to that? Well, it's because it's often considered blended. Now, this is a really great way, in my opinion, to write a song that could work for those that honor the traditional and for those that honor the contemporary. And so how that is done is, first of all, there's a lilt that's in the song for the 6/8, so it makes it feel like there's a little more beat. But then the refrain, that is shout to the north and the south, also becomes a moment where people can, or singers can actually improvise or sing free parts. But it also lends itself to that traditional SATB harmony. So some hymnals, for some of you listeners, may have those parts in them. This Glory to God hymnal does not, unless you go to the accompanying edition. But you could harmonize your own parts up top or below. So that really is a nice advantage. The other thing is it's set up like a song, because you have the verses, we have the chorus or refrain, and then the bridge. And so that makes it feel technically, I guess we'll say, culturally relevant as well. It's another way of kind of creating that blend. The other way of thinking about it is one of the critiques that contemporary songs receive, which I don't personally really agree with, is that they're too internal. They're too much about ourselves. While I do feel God does need to be the focus of our worship, sometimes we do need to deal with those emotions and feelings that we have, and there's no harm in doing that in a worship song that's directed towards Jesus Christ. So, and there's a lot of songs like that, like I Love You, Lord, and I Lift My Voice. Well, that's a lot of the songs that Cutting Edge were bringing out at that time. So, like, for example, Lord, You Have My Heart, songs like that would actually be considered more internal. But this is now external, and it allows that critique to go away, because now we're talking about the men of faith, we're talking about the women of truth, and we're talking about the church. We're talking about the people of the church. And of course, children can also be included in there. So it's a great way to kind of meet things halfway without going too far. And so that's why it's great for a blended service. So enough discussion about it. Let's sing it. Shout to the north.
Shout to the north.
So I want to close with what is actually in the Glory to God hymnal, and they have done such a great job, friends, of writing in the bottom, below the hymn, the text, a little background about it. So if you look here in the book, you can see like right below at the bottom there, that's where you'll find that text. And here is what it reads. The praise and worship song comes from Delirious, an English Christian rock and worship band, which is correct. It was originally Cutting Edge, though, but we'll keep going. Although the style is new, the message is an enduring one. God will provide the strength we need to proclaim the good news of salvation to all parts of the world. What an excellent summary. Good job, Glory to God team, for this hymnal that put this together. God will provide the strength we need to proclaim the good news of salvation to all parts of the world. So men of faith, rise up. Women of truth, stand and sing to the broken hearts, and rise up as well. So it's rise up, and one way of providing that strength that we need to proclaim the good news of salvation is to sing. Sing it in our homes, sing it in our churches, sing it in the streets. Thank you very much for listening to Hymn of the Week.